Hello, Jen here with a layout for the Everyday Inspiration series. This is a series that Christy, Crystal, Daisy, Dolly, and Lisa and myself do every month where we take a photo from our everyday life and we use it as inspiration for a layout. So this month was my month. I'm so excited because I love fall, and as soon as I saw this view that I had driving home from the Creative Scrapbooker magazine crop that I was at the end of September, I knew that this would be the perfect inspiration photo for fall. So sadly, we've been having a super crappy fall. It's been snowing a lot and it's been cold, and we just really haven't had a lot of nice kind of iconic fall days. So I'm glad that I was able to snap this photo to remind me that we did have a couple at the end of September and a couple around Thanksgiving that were actually kind of nice, but we totally missed the boat on being able to do fall photos and all that kind of stuff. I'm glad that this year we didn't do a fall bucket list because I don't think we would have been able to check off any of it. Unless Mother Nature is listening and she decides to give us a gorgeous second half of October and November. That could happen, in which case I take it all back, but I don't know how that's going to go. So the leaves will all be gone by then anyways. But that was really my biggest inspiration with this layout, is the leaves and the colors and just that whole feeling of fall. So I'm starting my layout with some little offcuts that I have left over from a layout that I did at the beginning of the month where I cut out a whole bunch of leaves. I kept the outsides of them so that I could use them kind of like stencils because I don't have an actual leaf stencil, so I thought that this would be a good way to kind of get those leaf shapes and get that stenciled look. So I pulled out a bunch of distress inks and a bunch of my oxide inks in yellows and reds and orange and greens, and you can see here I'm just smushing the ink through them. It's not perfect because I didn't really plan to do this at the time that I cut those leaves, so I'm getting, marks around the edges and stuff, but that's okay because you can see here in the finished product that I've just filled up that whole outside edge and basically made a frame. Oh, there's Salem. I just basically made a frame with all of those leaves. So I covered up most of my boo-boos, and I think in the end you can't really see the marks anyways because there's so much color and stuff going on. So after I was done that, I let everything dry, and then I just popped on a television show and I picked a couple of the leaves in orange and in the green to sew around. So some of them I just sewed around the outside, and others I kind of did like that messy stitching right across the leaf. And so that just brought in some extra color and extra texture to my leaves. And now for some of the yellow ones and for the brown ones, I'm going to do some embossing. So this embossing powder that I'm using right now, it is amazing. It smells like maple syrup. It's so gorgeous. It's from Emerald Creek, and I will leave the link for you so that you can go and check them out. They have a whole bunch of these new aroma embossing powders that have beautiful smells. There's eggnog, and this one is called Canadian Maple, and I think there's a mint one, and there's a whole bunch of them. And basically I'm just taking that same template and putting it back over top of the leaf, and then I'm using a makeup sponge and an old embossing ink that I have. It's still really gushy and wet, but it's a little bit mucked up, and so because I knew that when you get the distress inks wet again, you kind of pull up that color, you reactivate the color, and you can see it on my makeup sponge. So I just keep this older ink pad around because if I'm going to get it all messed up, then I'm okay with that. So smushed the embossing ink through it and then poured the powder on, and here you can see it melting, and it has this really beautiful translucent kind of look to it so it doesn't melt really opaque, and it's just beautiful. You can get all kinds of great effects with it because of that translucence. It looks like maple syrup, actually. It's darker here because I did it over top of brown, but if I had done it just straight onto the white, it would have looked more like that amber color of maple syrup. And so now I'm going to do the same thing with a different embossing powder. This one is an exclusive to Wild Whisper, and it looks orange in the bottle, but I knew ahead of time because they had some samples when I bought it. It actually melts yellow. So the main color of this powder is yellow, and then there's going to be these really beautiful orange flecks to it, and also glitter. And the glitter stays clear and glittery, so it's just gorgeous. I love the way that those two embossing powders added a little bit of shine and stuff to the background. So super exciting, and it still smells like maple syrup. It's been a while since I've done this, and you know, it's been in a pocket or a page protector, and it's been pulled out so the kids could all touch it because they all had to touch it and they all had to smell them. And then I've taken pictures and all kinds of stuff. So for it to still smell like maple syrup, I think that's pretty cool. So go and check that out. And now I'm just going to do some layers in the back of my photo. So my photo is from a fall photo shoot from a couple of years ago, and the picture that I took actually really inspired me to go and find this old photo shoot, because it's been a couple of years since we've had one of those really nice falls. And yeah, I think this photo kind of reminds me that we don't always have that here in the foothills. It's lovely to be able to live at the bottom of the mountains and see the mountains every day when I look out my window, and we have lots of fun going and doing stuff in Banff and Lake Louise and things like that. But when the snow comes, it kind of just comes and takes over everything. So I pulled out the pictures from this little family photo shoot that we did because it was kind of that one of the last really beautiful falls that we've had. So yeah, it's just my kids and my nieces and nephews. I think this was actually the first fall that we had my boys, so we did tons of these photo shoots to try and take as many pictures as possible for them. So I'm just building up my layers in behind. This is an Echo Park collection from a couple of years ago. I have just this kit that I kind of keep all together with some Echo Park and some Pebbles fall stuff, and I just every year pull it back out and keep using it until it's all used up. So the two collections work really well together, but one is cream based, the Pebbles one is cream based, and the Echo Park one is sort of white based. So I liked the white better because it just makes those colors even more vibrant and stand out even more. And these are some Cuts to Love Flair that I have. They're watercolor leaves, and I just got those at the Paper and Ink Boutique, which is a new store in Calgary that I absolutely love. And here's some Flair, no, that's wood veneer. And then these are just some translucent kind of plasticky stickers that I have. They're just the really cheap, like dollar stickers. But they have gold in them, and so I really like the way that gold warms this layout up a little bit, because definitely when you think of fall, you think of all these nice warm colors, but that white background is kind of it's more on the cool side. So I wanted to introduce a little bit of that gold to kind of warm things up a bit. So while I'm fiddling around with these little embellishment clusters, let me tell you about the giveaway. So we've made it through one full round of all of the ladies who participate in this series, and we wanted to celebrate by doing a little giveaway and A thank you for everyone who has been enjoying this series and following along. We really appreciate it. So this is our way of saying thank you. So I have a few pieces from the Pink Paisley Wild Child collection, and I would love to send them to somebody. This is open internationally, so anywhere in the world you can enter, and all you have to do is subscribe to all of our channels, like all of the videos from this month's series, so all of our October videos, comment, we love comments, so please comment, and then come back and let me know that you've done that, and I can enter your name into the giveaway. I'll leave it open for a week. I think that's probably good. So from the 15th to the 22nd, I think that's the Sunday, this giveaway will be open, and then I will post a video with the winner. So good luck to everybody, and thank you again for joining along. We're really excited to keep going with round 2. Okay, so let me see here. What have I done in my layout? Basically, I'm just adding a little cluster wherever I put those stickers. So every little cluster is going to have a flare, those stickers, a wood veneer, and then I also pull out some enamel dots and some sequins. And I didn't want to make things too busy. The leaves are busy enough, and I wanted to have enough stuff going on around the photos that you kind of, the photo is the main element that you're drawn to. It's the main focus, but obviously you don't want to take away from all of the work that was put into all of those leaves. So I'm just fiddling around with them. And this is the sequins pack that I'm going to use. It's the Sugar Maple from Spiegel Mom Scraps. It's so gorgeous. She has these beautiful maple leaf sequins in there that I love them so much. And you can see on the side there that I added a couple of strips of paper. I just cut off an inch from the left-hand side, and I added those strips of paper because I felt like that was definitely one way to warm things up a little bit too. So I love it. I think it turned out so good. And here is the giveaway stuff. So you can see the ephemera pack, the 6x6 paper pad, and these stickers can all be yours. Just subscribe to all the channels, leave comments, and like our videos for October to be entered to win. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. All the links are down below. If you have any questions, leave them for me in the comments. And of course, links to all of the companies I've used are down below too, so check them all out. And until next time, happy scrapping!